Chicago's #1 news with Alan Krzyzewski, Kathy Brock, weather with meteorologist Jerry Tadd, and sports with Jim Rose. This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Now comes the hard part. President Barack Obama began tackling the nation's problems on his first full day on the job. The White House released this photograph of the president at work there in the Oval Office. And here in Chicago, people are returning from Washington with memories and souvenirs from that historic inauguration. Good evening. The president is promising bold steps to revive the economy. Tomorrow, he's going to sign an executive order to close the detention center at Guantanamo Bay.
And today, the president had an open house for about 200 friends at the White House. ABC 7 political reporter Andy Shaw with more tonight from Washington. Andy.
Kathy and Ellen, day one of the Obama presidency began with very little sleep for the partying first couple, but it was nonstop, nevertheless, for Mr. Obama as he sinks into this new job. There was a prayer service, an open house, key meetings on the economy and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. There was also executive orders on lobbying and transparency and White House pay. All of that coming as the pomp and ceremony of Inauguration Day give way to the pressures and the perils of the presidency. The party is finally over, and it's time to get to work here at the White House, which has a new first family and hundreds of faithful fans from around the country who are savoring their final hours of post-inaugural celebration before they head back home to the mundane in place of the magic.
And the energy was just remarkable. So I wouldn't have missed it. It was history in the making, and it was worth every effort.
How fun was it? It was incredible. Was it the best?
Democratic Congresswoman Melissa Bean, who gave out inaugural tickets to this high school civics class from Grays Lake, attended a private reception with her friend, the president, in the wee hours of the morning at the White House. And now she is ready to join her congressional colleagues and the new administration in tackling the nation's daunting problems.
We all have to roll up our sleeves and do what we can together, and that was really President Obama. It's my first time officially saying that. That was his call to the nation, that this is something we're in together.
Republican Congressman Peter Roskam, who represents DuPage County, says that he is willing to meet the new Democratic president halfway as they search for bipartisan solutions to the multiple crises the country is facing.
There's been a lot of style so far, but today is the first real day of his administration. So in fairness to the president, he's got an opportunity now to demonstrate that he's going to roll up his sleeves and help lead this country out of a very difficult economic situation. So I give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, Peter Roskam is a very partisan and very conservative Republican, and when he extends an olive branch like that, it's a good indication of how much popularity and political capital Barack Obama begins with. That could dissipate quickly, but he seems to be off to a good start. One final note on the party last night that Melissa Bean attended. She was one of a handful of Illinois friends of the Obamas who showed up at the White House in the early hours to toast, to drink some champagne. She campaigned with him in '04, and they became friends at that party. You guessed it, Oprah. Reporting live outside the Capitol in Washington, D.C., I'm Andy Shaw, ABC 7 News. Kathy and Alan, back to you.
Okay, Andy, thank you. Well, Chicagoans have been returning back home today after a